Yep, I'm recording.
All right. Hey, Steve, how's it going?
Not too
Gonna talk
bad.
about Nintendo Direct today.
It's been pretty
Oh,
exciting news.
MajinMetroid.
Pretty exciting stuff.
What did you think the big announcement was from the Nintendo Direct?
Honestly, the thing that got me the most hyped was the GD Mario Brother movie cast announcement.
Okay,
Every time,
that's what I thought the biggest was probably for everybody.
every time they named a new name, I was just like, I was either like, okay, I don't know how that could work, or I was like, oh my god, that's perfect. And I think that we're just going to have to wait and see how everything turns out. Like the only one I really had a huge question mark by was Chris Pratt because I mean I know he's a competent actor. He's awesome in a lot of different things, but yeah, I don't really hear his voice coming out of Mario's mouth. If you like Mario's an old
That's
man.
what I heard everybody talk. I had seen the Mario announcement, and that's all I heard is was Chris Pratt as Mario, and people were freaking the fuck out. Yeah, that's kind of the one that I don't see, but I guess it could work.
I hear he's not going to just use his normal voice. He's got like he's working on a different voice for the character. So
Like
it's
a
not
fake Italian accent.
I don't know, maybe. Well, we'll just have to
Well,
wait and see.
yeah, everything I saw was people losing their shit, and that's kind of what I.
Like Charlie Day as Luigi. That was so awesome. That's gonna be awesome. And fucking Keegan Michael Key as Toad.
Oh yeah,
Those
and
are the two.
Jack Black as Bowser,
Jack Black as Bowser. That's enough to get me to
and
like.
Seth Rogen as Donkey Kong. I mean,
Oh my
Jack
god.
Black and Seth Rogen. I'm like totally down for that.
Yeah, me too.
And
That's
yeah,
that's like the first time a movie besides a Marvel movie has got me any kind of excited in the past like 10 years.
yeah, I think besides the Mario casting, I'm pretty excited about the casting. But yeah, I think that was obviously the biggest thing. I'm kind of looking forward to it. Not so much that I want to see the movies. I just want to see how it all comes together.
Yeah, like it's gonna be a completely animated movie. It's not gonna be like the Sonic movie where like Sonic comes to our world. I never saw that movie, but I saw a lot of trailers and a lot of because people liked it, but I don't know. It just seemed a little bit weird.
It's on Hulu. It's actually pretty good. I enjoyed it more than I thought I would, especially after all the people like didn't like his eyes or something
Yeah,
or his teeth.
his whole design they changed. Like
Yeah,
they showed his design as a trailer, in a trailer or something, and people just freaked out. So they actually went in and changed his entire design.
yeah. I'm looking forward to this. I think I think it was the big thing,
I mean,
and
they got Shigeru Miyamoto to come out and announce it himself, and if he's working on it, then it should be good.
yeah, that's kind of my. It's and there's not like a whole lot, but it the casting sounds exciting, and uh, Chris Pratt's all right. Maybe not as a Mario, but it's animated, so we'll see.
And then they got the Anna Taylor Joy as Princess Peach. I haven't seen
I
any. I've never seen anything with her in it, but she's a pretty girl, and she's in a lot of cool things that I'd like to
Yeah, I don't
watch.
know who she is. I didn't know who Charlie Day was either.
Oh, Charlie
I mean, he
Day.
seemed pretty
He's from Always Sunny in Philadelphia. It's like a sitcom that's
okay.
been going for like 15, 20 years.
Okay.
It's hilarious. You should check it out.
Yeah,
Yep.
those. I knew who everybody else was, and I was really excited about everybody else, but I didn't know who the Anna Taylor Joy and Charlie Day were.
Anna Taylor Joy, she was like in the Queen's Gambit, I think, and then also the New Mutants. She was like one of the main characters in that
Okay.
X
I
Men
haven't
movie
seen
that kind
either
of
one of those.
flopped. Yeah, there was a whole like one. Let's not even get into the New Mutants. We don't have to. Anyway,
Okay. All right. So, like, anything else you have to say about the new movie?
um, I'm just super excited, and I can't wait till it comes to Nintendo's new streaming service. That's gonna come out in a year. I don't know.
That's probably what the next thing. I thought the next biggest announcement was the Nintendo Switch Online
Oh my
announcement.
god, yeah, true that. That
I mean, like, what were your feelings on that?
uh, I looked at like there's a lot of great games that are gonna be coming out right away. I'm more excited for the N64 stuff than the Genesis stuff, but if I down the line, Paper Mario's coming out, and if that was a day one thing, I would be signing up day one because I could definitely play through Paper Mario again anytime.
Yes, it's not. I don't think it's for me. I wasn't a big fan of the 64 like everybody else. But I mean, some of the Genesis stuff looks okay, but I don't think I'm gonna get this. Is this something you're gonna get day one or?
Um, Probably not. Unless it's like right now the Switch Online for NES and SNES and like online capabilities is
Yeah, I don't
three.
even use the Switch. I mean, I love the Super. I thought Super Nintendo and was the best system that I had.
Right.
Um, and now the Switch. I mean, I took a look at. I think I had a 64. I never had a GameCube, and I didn't do the Wii U. Um, I'm not. I know people who have the Wii U, and I'm not impressed by it.
Um. Well, the Wii U had a lot of ports and things that you couldn't get really anywhere else. I think that's why a lot of people like it, and a lot of big first party titles came out for that eventually were ported to the Switch. They're kind of updated
Okay.
for the Switch. But the online service, it's right now it's $3.99 a month. I think, and if it's not any more than $9.99 a month for the new updated version,
Nine
then
ninety nine seems expensive.
well, if it's I maybe I could see $7.99 maybe because you're getting twice the amount
I
of systems now.
I have the $20. I just have the $20 thing, and I don't even use my Switch, but I just keep it because $20 a year is it's nothing.
Right.
But I mean, I was really into the Tetris 64 for a while. The Battle
Ooh.
Royale Tetris that was freaking awesome, and I did that for a few weeks. But I don't even think I started to play my Switch a little bit when the power was off, but yeah, it just wasn't. I didn't really. It's not my system of choice. Well, like,
Um,
what was your
I play it less and less. Like I keep buying games on my that are coming to Steam that I once owned on Switch or that I do own on Switch, and it's because I can't. It's hard for me to stream it, and even if I do hook it up, I got the old capture card and everything. There's a delay, and I can't figure out how to play the game without a delay and broadcast at the same time. So I kind
uh,
of lost interest in a lot of the games that I had on there because I'm really all about like streaming every single thing I do now. I don't know if that's a good thing or a bad thing, but that's what kind of turned
yeah,
me off on a lot of the Switch stuff. But there's like
yeah,
some
I have same problem as you do.
there's some huge Pokemon games coming out in November and January that I'm definitely going to be picking up, definitely going to be playing through, and at least the Diamond and Pearl remakes, they're turn based, so I can play those with the delay and just suck it up if I want to stream that. So I'm
Yeah, I'm
looking.
trying to think about how because I have an Elgato capture card, but it's a USB 2 instead of a USB 3 because my computer's old as shit,
Oh
and I
wow.
have the delay too.
I could never figure out how to fix the delay. I looked up guides and pretty much they just said that you can do a little few things, but you're pretty much going to be stuck with at least a second delay no matter what you do.
Would you consider like just recording and do a voiceover?
Um,
And that's a lot of work. I mean, you basically have to rewatch it and then comment on what you're doing.
I'm more of a lazy ass, sloppy ass. Record it and post it or stream it and
Yeah,
no
that's
no
how this
bells and
podcast
whistles.
is gonna
Oh man, don't say that.
go.
But I got a splitter too. I got a HDMI splitter, but it didn't have a. It's just a basic one. It's not a power sourced one because I figured I can split it. I can send my Switch to my laptop and then to my TV, and it won't be lagging on my TV, so I can pay attention to my TV while everyone else is just a few seconds behind when they're if they're
Yeah,
watching. But
there's like
you need a power source one to do that. Like it wouldn't. It was glitching out, and it was not. It didn't work, and it pissed me off. I only spent like $5 on it, so what should I expect?
right. Yeah, I mean, as long as you can record it, and if there's like a little bit of delay, it is what it is.
At the same time, like another one of the games that I'm excited about that really wasn't. the main thing of this direct, but they did bring it up, is Metroid Dread. Like I'm a
Okay,
huge Metroid.
I was actually gonna guess what the stuff that I thought was your favorite stuff. That was one of them.
Oh
I
shit.
thought you were gonna really be into Triangle Strategy, Metroid Dread, and the Castlevania collection, and maybe Chocobo Grand Prix.
You were pretty much spot on. That's a no on the Chocobo Grand Prix, but I do appreciate that it's Final Fantasy. But yes, the Castlevania collection, it's basically Metroid games in Castlevania setting, and then the Metroid Dread is a first new 2D one in a long time. Well, I guess there was one on the 3DS, but I never picked that one up. By the time I decided to get it, it was like too late because the prices on those games skyrocket after they've been out for a while. So I never got to play Samus Returns, which was a remake of the second one in the series. But anyway, at the same
Yeah,
time, I'm like, now I'm like a dedicated RPG player, and like anything actiony or skill based, I'm not sure if I can handle it anymore. I'm not in my
okay,
20s anymore, man. I just need
right.
I just want to make my numbers go up so I can kill enemies faster because I have big numbers, basically.
Okay. So yeah, I saw. I figured Metroid Dread was going to be the big thing for you. It obviously wasn't the thing for me, but like, what do you think about the Planet ZDR and the X Parasite? I mean, like, were you digging the story, or were you just like digging, oh
Um,
man, it's Samus and she's in her suit and
eh. Oh man, I could show you some things I've collected off Twitter. No, never mind. Um, you know what? I'm excited for it because it looks pretty damn sleek, but at the same time, a lot of the enemies are like mechanical, and I always think of Metroid as fighting biological enemy or Samus is fighting biological enemies. So that's kind of turning me off just like marginally. But if I ever have a month or two where I have an extra $60 to throw at it and there's no other games coming out, I might pick it up and give it a whirl.
all right, yeah, that's the thing. These are all going to be like 60, $70 games.
Yeah. And I've already got like I said, those Pokemon games. There's the Endwalker expansion for Final Fantasy 14. There's two more Pixel remasters coming out. And I don't even know what else. There's too many. One of the what did you think of Knights of the Old Republic remake?
Um, I thought that was good. I haven't played it. I heard it's like the MMO, which I did play. I mean, I think that's a good. I've heard talk about it really liked it. I think that's a good addition. Probably not going to play it. I mean, there were two games that I like. I want to see if you can guess what my two favorite announcements were game wise.
Uh, was it that card game by
That
chance?
was that was the first. That's probably my most favorite.
What about Triangle Strategy? Is that too obvious?
Nope. No, no.
Okay.
I tried. I knew that you really like that. I was like, oh man, this is like anime as fuck. It looks like Final Fantasy. Like Steve's gonna or MajinMetroid's gonna love this. It was the Disco Elysium, and I've heard like a lot of other people talk about that.
Oh,
That probably
the
won't get it on Switch, but I've been thinking about getting it on PC or Xbox. But yeah, that card game that what's it called? Voice of the Cards did the Isle Dragon Roars. I mean that seemed like right up my alley. Like tabletop and cards.
hell yeah.
I might get that. It looked pretty anime too. I thought you might have liked it as well.
Um, I might download the demo and check it out. I think the demo's out already, isn't it? I think they announced that the demo was coming out that day, so I might check it out. I know one of the people I follow on Twitter is all about it. He was saying it's really good, so I trust his opinion.
Okay. Um, what did you think about the opener? They opened up with Monster Hunter.
That
I
is a
mean, does that
series I don't have a lot of experience with, but I'm kind of curious about it, I guess.
I it was on Xbox for a while, or Xbox Game Pass. Um, not my thing, but I know that it's big in Asian markets. I mean, like they're crazy about that shit.
What is like what is it? I don't really understand like how does the gameplay flow, do you know?
you basically like go on these like they're like mission based things, and you just go attack giant ass monsters. And sometimes you have people that can like randomly come in if you want, or you and your friends can just go hunt monsters, and you get like materials from the monsters, and you just make better armor and you fight bigger monsters. The fights are, at least for me, when I was like just starting out, they took forever until like somebody more badass just came into my game and just like uh, took down the monster for me. Like, but there's just like hard as hell. Like you're hopping all over the place. The monster, it's like boss fights. Like if you like WoW raid boss fights, that's what it seems
Is
like
it
to me. But
like
I didn't get very far.
Dark Souls or like Sekiro or anything like that?
I haven't played Dark Souls. I've heard of Dark Souls, but I've never played it. It just like the closest thing. It's not really my type of game. WoW raiding is the closest thing, or WoW boss fights is the closest thing that I can compare it to.
I like the FF14 boss fights. They're the funnest part of the dungeons that you run. And
It might be like that. You basically and you have like your class is like kind of a weapon, like you have a sword or a spear or like a bow, and then all your abilities and stuff are based off what your weapon is, from what I remember.
I downloaded a demo of one for the 3DS long ass time ago, and I think I just like ran around in the snow and then stopped playing.
Okay.
But I hear a lot of people like it, and I'm trying to expand my horizons from Pokemon and Final Fantasy these days. Well, not
Yeah.
lately. I've been really focusing on 12, but once I'm done with that, I'm gonna try and play something different.
Well, I think another big one is Hyrule Warriors: Age of Calamity. What did you think about that? The Zelda
I was a huge fan of
like
Breath of the Wild, and I'm definitely looking forward to Breath of the Wild too. But I never gotten into any of the like Dynasty Warrior type Hyrule Warriors or anything like that. There's even One Piece ones out there that I would probably that you'd think I would like a lot, but I feel like it's just a lot of is it a lot of button mashing or how do those games work?
it looked pretty much like Breath of the. I never finished Breath of the Wild. Like I got stuck on the. Oh, I never really tried to find the fire gear to go into the fire realm to fight the
Oh,
fire beast or whatever, and I just stopped playing.
I got to the very end and I was like scavenging the Hyrule Castle and everything, hunting for Ganon, and I stopped playing. I put so much time into it though. I got every tower, beat every divine beast. And I loved it, and I was super hyped about it for a long time. But then I don't know what happened. Another game came along, and I got obsessed with that, and kind of just got shoved to the wayside. Sadly, I did that with
Yeah.
fucking Skyward Sword too. I got to the very end of that, and then to get the best shield in the game, one that doesn't degrade. You had to do a boss rush mode of all the bosses you had beaten before. You had to beat them all without dying. And I was working on that because I didn't want to beat the game without the best shield. And I could never complete the boss rush mode, so I stopped playing that, sadly.
Yeah, yeah. It's just it seems like too much work and then it's gonna end. I'd rather play something like an MMO or something that's got like a little more PvP elements.
Or more of a story, too. I'm a big story guy.
Yeah. Was there anything else that stuck out? Any games that stuck out to you? Like
Um,
Triangle Strategy, maybe?
yeah, that looks a lot like the old Final Fantasy Tactics and Tactics Ogre. Um, I know that there's been a demo of that out for a while now, but I never downloaded it. That's one that I might pick up on a whim one of these
A
months.
sales sort of thing?
Maybe if it ever comes to Steam. I know Bravely Default 2 just came out to Steam, and it's made by the same team, I think, or a similar or an adjacent team or something like that. So I feel like it'll be on Switch for maybe 6 months and then go to Steam. At least that's what happened with Bravely Default 2. So that maybe I'll pick it up when it's on Steam. I don't know. But it
Yeah,
looked.
it looked like something that was like right up your alley. It's like the super turn-based, super Final Fantasy,
And
Japanese as hell.
I like the seem to have branching pathways and things like that. Like your responses make a difference
Well, that's
in
kind
the
of like
text.
yeah, that's why I like Disco Elysium. I heard that it's like your choices affect it. So I don't know. We'll see. Maybe if I could be persuaded on triangle strategy with maybe. It just seems the turn-based stuff seems I don't know. Turn-based RPGs aren't really my thing.
Oh, they are my main thing. So.
Oh, dude, like that's pretty much your like only thing for like a while.
Yeah. Sadly, I don't know if that's sad or not, but maybe it is. I don't give a shit. I'll be sad.
Yeah, I mean, like I pretty much only play Hearthstone,
I mean,
so
I follow pretty much majorly, bleh, primarily is what I mean to say. I follow primarily people that also love Final Fantasy, so I'm just like, when I go on Twitter, it's just like everybody has a hard on for Final Fantasy, and it's just like these are my
it's
people.
Square Enix, right? You're like a Square Enix guy.
Yeah,
Okay. No, I understand. I'm like that with Blizzard.
I hear you.
Um, anything else that you saw that
Um,
like to?
the Kirby game kind of. I probably will never buy it, but it's interesting. It looks cool. I remember
Yeah, I wasn't a Kirby. I don't know, like the stuff in like the real world, like the Mario with the hat. What's that called?
Odyssey.
Mario. Yeah, that just I don't know. It looked cool, but it's Kirby's not my thing either. I think I played the Kirby Yarn game was the only Kirby game I've ever owned,
I
and
remember
like Smash Brothers.
one of my birthdays when I was young, maybe like 9 or 10. It was right. Well, it would have been 1993 because Jurassic Park was in theaters. It was my birthday, and I got Kirby's Adventure for the Nintendo Entertainment System. And my aunt offered to take me and my cousin to see Jurassic Park that day for my birthday, and I turned her down just so I could play Kirby's Adventure all day by myself. And she took my brother Drew
Wow.
to see the movie, and I played it and I loved it, man. I that was like one of the first games I ever beat. Like, and beating a game was like in those days it didn't happen all the time. Sometimes you had a game and you never beat it, but that was
Uh,
one I could beat, and
yeah, I think one of the first like NES games I ever beat was like Mario 3,
yeah, it
and
just
it took
gives you that
forever.
thrill of like completion and like achievement. I guess that's the
Yeah,
thrill I've been chasing ever since then. Just a
I
thrill
hear you.
chaser.
I don't even beat many games now. I mean, like most of the games I play are open ended
Yeah,
because it's kind of like I don't know. Sometimes I feel the way about games I feel about like series on like I get real sad when they're done. So I try to pick stuff that doesn't necessarily end, like
it's
Hearthstone or I play Diablo where you can just pretty much redo it every season, every few months you just replay the game.
it's either like it's too short or it's too long for me to get
Oh,
into a lot of the shows that are out today. Like I'm the only shows I really watch are ones that I've watched like that have been going for about 5 or 6 years, and I've like dedicated to watching them as the seasons come out. Like
I'm gonna say yeah, you watch One Piece and One Piece is like ridiculous, isn't it? In
it's
length.
yeah, I stopped watching and I started reading it just because it would go a lot faster. I'm still got like 125 chapters of that to read before I'm fully caught up, and it's still going to be going probably for 3, 4, or 5 more years before it's over. And yeah, there's like 900 episodes of the anime, 1,000 and better chapters of the manga, and that's dedication. But One Piece is worth it. Like if I could persuade you to get into anything, and that would probably be really difficult to do, seeing as how it's such a
Yeah, maybe. Well, we'll have to see.
like at least give there's a live action series coming out. At least give that a chance. It's gonna be like 10 hour long episodes, and I'm really thinking that it's gonna make One Piece a thing in the United States more than it is, because it's like the hugest thing in Japan, right, and it has been for the past 20 years. It's like it's almost competing with Superman and Batman in lifetime
Okay.
sales. That's how big it
I know a
is.
lot of people that have been are into Dragon Ball.
Well,
My
Dragon Ball was One Piece is kind of like its spiritual successor. That's how I somebody said that on a podcast I listened to years and years and years ago, and that's what initially made me give One Piece a chance. because they were like, oh, it's similar to Dragon Ball. The author was inspired by Dragon Ball, so
Uh,
and it's better than Dragon. It's like 20, 50 times better than Dragon Ball Z. I don't even.
all right, that's high praise coming from you because when we were younger, that's all you were Dragon Ball obsessed. Everything was like Dragon Ball, Dragon Ball, Dragon Ball.
Yeah. I still log into a Dragon Ball gotcha game and collect the free rewards and do my free draws and shit. But other than that, I haven't watched much of Super at all. That's the current anime that's going on, and I haven't seen many of the new movies that have come out. It's just once you go Super Saiyan 3 or 4, it's like how far can you go after that? Now they have a form called Super Saiyan God Super Saiyan. Like there was Super Saiyan God, and then the Super Saiyan God went Super Saiyan, and the hair turned blue. That's what's going on in Dragon Ball Z right now. Dragon Ball Super, I mean to say.
Uh, that probably does not. If my opinion doesn't really change
Yeah,
about
I don't expect it to. I don't expect it to.
it.
Like I don't. It's not even. I don't even know how much the original author is involved with it anymore. I think there's this other
Well,
dude.
yeah, it's old. It's like what 30 some maybe almost 30, 40 years old.
Like I heard, someone describe it as like a direct to DVD quality.
Okay, that kind of quality.
Uh,
So basically, just trying to milk it from like the hardcore people.
Pretty much. I mean, I think there's some games out there like Dragon Ball Fighter Z or Fighters. I don't know. I never knew how to say that, but I think that's a
Well,
pretty
there was
popular game.
that jump game or something like I saw it was on Xbox Game Pass. And I'm like, did you ever play that?
No,
Jump
but I've
Force.
seen it.
Jump Force.
It's got like Naruto and One Piece
Yeah,
characters and Dragon Ball characters and Bleach again and all that. It's
Japan's
like a
version. Yeah.
Smash Brothers, I guess, of the Japanese mangas, which is a cool idea. And if I was 15 years old still, I'd probably be all about it.
Well, I was just thinking about that. That's the thing. Like, it's harder for games now because there's like so much. There's like so much competition. I mean, there's like so many games. There's more games than you can ever play. There's so many more free games than you can ever play. There's so much more TV shows than you can ever
Yeah,
play.
yeah.
You have so much choice. I mean, it's like something has to be like really good or like really
And
be
my
your
attention
niche.
span is for shit these days. I either have to be beeping, I have to be playing something, or I'm just like zoning out and looking at the wall, listening to a podcast. Those are my two extremes. I'm not in the middle like enjoying a story of in a visual medium just like by itself. I have to be like leveling up my guys or some shit. You know what I'm saying? So it's like really,
Yeah.
it's upsetting. But I'm hoping that I can like change and go back to enjoying simple things like television programs and movies.
Okay.
Like I
Well,
rarely
yeah, no,
watch
I
it.
understand about like I
Well,
games need
anyway,
to have
I
progression
think
or
we're
not
we're
or I'm
digressing.
good.
I think a bit here.
Did anything else like seem really interesting to you in the direct?
Um, no.
What'd you think about Animal Crossing? I know that's like one of the
Well,
biggest
well,
things that I
the
hear
thing
about.
that kind of made me laugh was like, what are we doing? What is this, a direct like how they
Say
have
that
the
again?
what is this, like a Nintendo Direct? Like we're gonna tell you when the Smash Brothers announcement's coming in the next Smash Brothers Direct, and then the next Animal Crossing Direct. They're not actually showing you the content from those games. They're like setting
I
up.
think that's pretty. I mean, like, yeah, they do that at E3 too, and they do that with Blizzard. They like basically like I think it's so that they don't piss people off. Like people are following these things,
Right.
and they don't. They want to basically like, hey, we didn't forget about you, but it's coming later. It's kind of like what I feel about when they did that BlizzCon 2008 when they didn't even mention Diablo 4. People lost their fucking shit.
Is Diablo 4 a thing?
Yeah, it is. Not for a while, but it's in development.
I'd rather have Warcraft 4, man.
Yeah, I kind of would too. I don't even know if I'm gonna get the next WoW expansion. Honestly,
I heard that the Warcraft 3 reimagined or whatever was a little bit disappointing.
it totally bombed.
That sucks. I remember so many. So we have, so, I mean, so many good memories playing that game.
Yeah, I think that was probably like, I mean, that was the game we played the most. I think we played that and Quake
Yep.
and Warcraft 2, and a little bit of what was that other game?
Age of Empires, Star Wars,
Age of Empires. There was like in the Dungeon Siege.
Dungeon Siege. Yeah.
Yeah.
Do you remember that movie that came out, King's Tale
Oh,
or
Dungeon
whatever,
Siege. Oh,
in the
and we
name of
went
the
and saw
king?
it, and it was so for Ewan Boll or whatever his name is, the guy
Yeah,
that makes horrible movies. It totally sucked.
that guy made like three or four more after that sequels.
Didn't he make a bunch of like what was
I
it
don't even
like?
know what that guy's got. I mean, I think he's got some shadiness to him or something, or maybe I'm thinking
Well,
of somebody else.
he got a bunch of like money from the country he was from, and he'd make shitty movies. And it didn't matter if they did well at the box office because he got all this money from the government just to make movies in his country.
Shit.
It was like Resident Evil. I think he did some Resident Evil or some stuff like that. Maybe not.
I
Maybe I
think like
remember.
I think
Or
we're living in
Silent
a
Hill or
time.
something.
I think we're living in a time where anybody can kind of make the movie that they want almost. Like Kevin Smith, he's like he made Jane Silent Bob reboot, and then really he took it on tour, and I mean it wasn't like a huge release, but I mean the fans went and saw it, and now he's making Clerks 3 kind of the same way, and it's not going to be a huge release like his older movies, but he's getting to make them the way he wants to, and I think
He wants you.
a lot of folks are, I mean, anybody with an iPhone or whatever can take pretty decent video these days. You can edit
Yeah,
right.
I think that's like yeah. If you have like the will to do it, I mean, you can get it out there now. And like
If I,
another thing is like there's like so much shit too for him to compete against. Like we talked about before, there's like Netflix and like
yeah,
there's no gatekeepers anymore. You can just make whatever you want, and it might not be the biggest audience, but you can make it.
and you will find an audience most of the time.
Oh, definitely. I'm looking over the list of other things that were.
That Bayonetta, I've never played a
Uh,
Bayonetta game, but she can dance, baby.
I was like, that's what I was. I saw that, and I was like, it seems like there's two monsters fighting, and she's just like standing there dancing. Like, what the fuck is
I don't
this?
know. I've never played a Bayonetta game, but I think they're pretty popular. I mean, it was enough to
Oh,
and
that's like
finish out
that
the
was the
show.
closer. So I'm guessing it's got to be like an Asian market thing or like a Japanese market thing because like I totally didn't get it. That and so, it seemed like Splatoon 3 was another like big
Yeah,
release too,
that's
and
another
I
game I
think
have no interest in, but I know is really popular.
yeah, I think if I was younger and instead of like I could see myself playing Splatoon 3 instead of Quake. If that was all there was, like I'm not
Right.
into shooters anymore.
Yeah, if I was younger, I'd be totally about all kinds of different genres, but I've kind of got set in my ways.
But yeah, it's like kids nowadays have so many games, and I know kids that's like they're just into Fortnite. What's the other one?
Minecraft.
Roblox and Minecraft. But I mean, it's like all this stuff is just seems like wasted on them. Like they have their games, they're like old versions of us where they're not trying to explore things. Maybe it's because games are so good now. Like you can have a game, and I think that's they build games to like last forever. They don't make games usually to be like short experiences.
Yeah, I was listening, yet again, I was listening to another podcast. That's pretty much all I do these days. But they're talking about this guy had sat his daughter down with like the first Mega Man on Nintendo, and they were she just like quit playing it after 20 minutes because there was no story, there was no direction. She didn't even jump or shoot. She just like moved to the right and died. I guess I don't know, but like she
Breaking
just
up a
said,
little bit.
"Oh really?"
It's like it's like choppy. Like I don't know. Do you have your microphone on like some kind of activation?
I'm just using the onboard mic of
Okay.
my laptop. Is it still choppy?
No, it's actually better now. So she was just playing what?
The original Mega Man on Nintendo.
Oh, that seems like that's hardcore.
That's true. I can't even beat that game. Never could.
I
I could
think I
beat
played a little bit on the Nintendo online service.
I could beat Mega
I
Man
think I got
X.
past like, the first level, and that was it. And I'm like, this is way too much.
They're like if you want to save, you got to write down a huge password and shit. But I mean, at the time, those were like the huge hits.
Hmm.
They
I
don't
remember
make them
back
like
in
that
the
anymore.
'80s when I was like 5 or 6, I used to play Zork, the text-based adventure game. Like you just basically had to say, I move here, I attack.
And I used to play King's Quest, man. Which is like the next, I guess, the next stage of that, maybe.
Yeah.
Simple ass. It was like the first game to have real graphics, and that was just. I mean, you almost had more freedom in those games because they had the parser. You could type in what you wanted to do. You didn't have like just a select and cancel. You had the thing that really made me fall in love with that game was when my dear sweet cousin said hump the bed, and the game said, "Oh, you were raised by a naughty wizard," and I was like, "He actually
He's,
humped the bed." Oh.
well, yeah, I think like you there's like a lot to leave up to your imagination. I mean, like games now don't like leave a lot to the imagination. It's just like constantly dopamine hits, like just crazy shit going on all over the place. Like that Bayonetta shit. Like you have like two monsters fighting, and
Yeah, I
like,
couldn't
oh,
even
that's
tell
not
you.
enough. There's like some sexy woman just like dancing around while the monsters fight. It doesn't make any sense, but I'm sure it does something for someone.
Yeah, like, is it a rhythm game? Is it an action game? Is it
I
like an
didn't
art?
even think it could be a rhythm game. I have no idea.
I'm too old to learn new technology.
Yeah, I'm sure that's Bayonetta is like an old game. It never hit my radar. Let's see what else was there. Mario Golf. The,
Eh,
and then there was the Mario Party thing. I actually kind of thought the Mario Party Superstars. I'd play that
I'd play
if I
that
had
if I
somebody
wasn't
people
socially
over.
awkward.
What's that?
I'd play that if I wasn't socially anxious and awkward and shit. Like, I
Right?
remember some good times back in the day, getting a bunch of dudes together and playing Mario Party. Those were some good
Mm-hmm.
times.
Uh, yeah, like I haven't really had somebody that I've actually played games online. Like we did a little bit, but usually it's like there's like platform differences. Like there's like so much variety. Everybody has their own things. At least the people I know, not like kids now, where they can all cross play Fortnite or Minecraft, what platform. I think that's why they are so good. It's like you can be on mobile, you can be on Switch, you can be on PC, and you can all play these games together. And I think that's like one of the reasons why they're so successful with the kids. Oh, and another thing is like kids are really into like League of Legends.
Yeah, like another podcast I listened to, the two guys that played Merry and Pippin from Lord of the Rings. They have a whole segment on their show, their podcast, where they talk about them and their attempts to get Sean Astin and Elijah Wood to play with them, and they're like all about the game. And then Sean Astin and Elijah Wood are like, I installed it a few months ago, but
Have you ever played League of Legends before?
no, is it similar to like Dota and
Exactly like Dota and Heroes of the Storm.
it's too impermanent for me to even consider playing because isn't it like a one and done, just like a match, and then if you win, you win, and if you lose, you cry
Well,
yourself to sleep.
uh, you always get currency to unlock new cosmetics and unlock new characters. I mean, there's like a certain collection aspect to it.
Ooh.
Um, I think since I'm a Blizzard guy, I think that Heroes of the Storm is the best one. But I remember back in like the early 2000s that I was playing League of Legends, and it was considered the inferior one, something called Heroes of New Earth. And then like League goes like totally dead for a while, and then like 10, 15 years later, like all of a sudden League's like the shit, and like nobody even talks about Heroes of New Earth anymore.
Yeah. I've never even heard of that game. I'm sorry.
It's it was like just like as soon as they were basically trying to capitalize on the Dota mod in Warcraft 3. I mean, like we used to play Dota all the time.
Fuck yeah.
in the work, the customs game. So
Hell if I knew how to hell if I knew how to understand how to like craft things, but it was fun trying out all the different classes. Like there were so many different heroes or whatever you could choose, and that was a lot of fun.
yeah. So I'm just surprised that it's a big thing with kids, and like I was like hearing that like Among Us, another big thing with kids. I mean that game was like just like chilling for like 2 years, then all of a sudden it just becomes big. I'm like I don't know if it's like streamers on Twitch or like social media or what, but these like things just catch on. I guess that's kind of cool too.
Yeah, I mean, kids these days don't have to do what we did. They got all kinds of different options, and they know probably a lot more about the shit than we do.
Well, and these are like this is free to play stuff, and like back in the day, it was you had to pay like 30 to 50 bucks, and either you got a good game or you were screwed and you were just out of your money.
Yeah,
Or you had
yeah.
to go to the video store and like
Rent.
basically just draft through stuff and find something.
That's how I found Final Fantasy 2, baby.
Video store?
Yep, Super Kmart. And
Oh,
it
nice.
was all downhill from there.
I'm trying to think. I think it was Warcraft 2 is really what got me started. Like I was going through a bad time. Some crazy shit went down, and like I need a game, and they're like, "Oh, here's this battle chest for like 20 bucks at Warcraft 2." I'm like, oh shit! But I had Diablo 2 before that, but like Warcraft 2 is really what got me into Blizzard. Or get I think it's Diablo or Diablo 2. Forget which one.
Yeah.
But yeah, like I don't know. I thought the direct was good, but not a whole lot of stuff for me. Maybe the voice of the cards.
That I'm never gonna play it, but I think it's kind of cool that ActRaiser got a remake. I know that's a really hardcore game for the Super Nintendo, and I remember watching this one dude just bash his head against just the first stage. Couldn't even beat the first stage for like an hour. So that game is hardcore, and I hope some people like it.
hmm I don't even remember seeing that one. I don't even have it on my list of stuff. Was that like one of the ones they quickly went through?
Kinda, yeah. It's the one where it's side scrolling, but then also like world building, where you're like the god of the
Okay.
world. I don't know.
And I saw Shadowrun on there. I keep seeing that, but I think I actually have it. It was a free Twitch game. Like
Oh,
I guess it's a big thing. Thinking about maybe I'll try that since I already have it. And
that Castlevania came to Steam right away too. I'm probably gonna cheat
the
on my Switch
Castlevania
and
collection,
yeah, I'm probably gonna cheat on my Switch and just buy it on Steam.
but probably easier to stream too.
Totally.
Another thing, like you said, the Star Wars: The Knights of the Old Republic. I mean, that's like a good thing for like people that have Switch. Did you ever play Hades? Off Game
Uh
Pass.
I watched a video of someone playing it. Kind of decided it wasn't for me.
Okay, yeah, I think I do remember you saying that. And then Disney Magical World. That really wasn't.
I can't wait for that game to come out.
I think that's good for kids. I think.
Yeah, they gotta get something to
Do
get
you
them
remember
into it.
back in the day when it was like what a true gamer was? It was like a very like you had to be like a gamer bro, like kind of like a real.
Like I remember getting super excited to play Aladdin on Super Nintendo. Like I bought that on one of my birthdays, and I was like super excited to play it, and I loved it. And it was a game I could beat because it wasn't too hard, and that was me at like 12 years old, man.
Like yeah, I mean like you were kind of like off in your box in a little world. Like you just liked what you like, and
There was no
people
internet
weren't
to
really
like.
talking about video games.
There was no hype or anything. You just took chances on games, and sometimes they were good, sometimes they sucked, and that's just the way she goes.
Mm-hmm. I think we covered pretty much
I
everything.
think we really did.
I mean, there wasn't. I mean, there was like a few things. I think the Mario movie, obviously the biggest thing, but I mean, they didn't really give a whole lot except for the cast, and then just like a bunch of other shit. Like anything else that game related? Anything now? What are you're kind of just playing Final Fantasy stuff? I'm guessing.
Yep. Kind of. I started playing the Final Fantasy IV Pixel Remaster. patiently waiting for the release dates of 5 and 6 to be announced. I'm really going ham on Final Fantasy 12 The Zodiac Age. Um, and I log into FF14 and sell things on the auction house, and I'm patiently waiting the 19th of November for Endwalker to come out. That's going to be huge.
19th is new content.
Yep. Huge content. Like, over the past, there's been 3 expansions and then the base game, A Realm Reborn. And this next expansion is going to finish the story. Like
Oh, nice.
there will be new expansions after that that come up with new stories and that. At least that's what they've said. But this Endwalker is gonna it's gonna be huge.
Sounds pretty cool.
You sound enthused.
Well, you're basically saying like a bunch of stuff that I have.
I
I
know. I'm sorry.
have you been like, checking out Game Pass or anything? I
I
haven't
do
been
look.
playing anything on Game.
I do go on to Game Pass every once in a while just to see if what new games have come out, and I don't know. There's some on there that seem like they could be pretty cool, but also huge. I'd be taking a huge chance, and if I got into one of them, it'd be a huge commitment. Uh,
Oh,
There's like,
like okay, there's like something called like Lost Worlds or Sable. There's Subnautica Below Zero. I kind of want to play the Subnautica Below Zero.
I thought about trying out the Fable games. I remember wanting to play them. Like that was the only reason I would ever have bought an Xbox back in the day.
Final Fantasy 13. Just sit there. You probably already know about that.
Yep.
Um, Mist is on there too. I was thinking
That's
about
another
playing
one.
Mist.
That's another one. I was like, that was like huge back in the day. That was
I think
like
that was almost
it
90s.
was like groundbreaking or some shit, wasn't it? Sold PCs.
Yeah, I remember as a kid I couldn't solve any of the puzzle.
Yeah, I had no idea how to play it. I remember we bought it and I was like, what the fuck?
Yeah.
I was like, what is
Uh,
this? There's no there's no Goombas to jump on or anything. What the fuck?
yeah. Like it was based, there was like no instructions, there were like no hints, but I mean like I think I could smash it now. And I think I might. Like who knows?
Try it out, man.
But yeah, I'm trying to think of like there's like so much stuff. And like I wish I could just give all these games to me as a kid. Like I played the
Yeah.
Carrion, there's like Command and Conquer, there's like a bunch of old shit.
On summer vacation.
Yeah. I mean this would be like awesome to have as a kid. But I mean like with YouTube now, like would if we were kids like we had YouTube, how much game would we actually get done? Because I mean like a lot of these
Like,
kids just watch YouTube.
I remember my mom would record a lot of shit off of TV when I was younger, and there was this one tape with a Super Mario Brothers 2 commercial on it, and I would rewatch that commercial over and over again just because it was somebody talking about a game I was interested in on the TV, and that was like an amazing special thing for me when I was really young. And like if I knew things like YouTube, like things like G4 and Tech TV, if I had any idea, my mind would have just been blown. I would have had a heart attack and
Oh
died.
yeah. Oh yeah. Like yeah, any like if I could watch people play D&D as a kid, like those D&D podcasts, I
Hell
would just
yeah.
watch people play D&D nonstop.
I always dreamed of like someone playing a D&D game but then animating it, and Dan Harmon did that, and I can't remember. I think it's called Harmon Quest. It was on one of them streaming services, but I never got into it. But I mean, he did what I always thought would be cool to do, and I wish I would have given it a chance or something.
And some I could have seen you as a kid doing that, doing like stop motion D&D, get your miniatures out, like do a story, DM it, and then like play it out.
I always thought of doing like an animation of a Magic game being played, like somebody played a land, and I would animate like a swamp coming in into the picture, and then if someone laid a monster, the monster would show up, and then I'd have the monsters fighting and shit like that.
It actually sounds really cool.
But that would have been that would have been a huge fucking project. I don't know if I could have ever done that, but I had the idea.
Hmm.
Now there's like Yu-Gi-Oh! If you want anything like that.
Right? What do you think about trying to look at games that we might be able to play down the road, like Minecraft Dungeons or something? Like, I don't know, find something on Xbox and like maybe that like a podcast we could do that. Quake 2's on there too.
What
Uh,
about that? What about that Neverwinter? Wait, what was it? Um, Forgotten Realms, Darkest Dungeon or Dark Dungeons or something like
I
that.
did I did download the Dark Alliances. Yeah,
Dark
isn't
Alliances.
that what it's called?
Yeah,
I did download
I heard
that.
it
So
got
that
shitty. I heard it got shitty reviews, but I mean, just for a lark, we could play it for a little bit. I guess people's main complaint about it was that it was like a bit grindy. You had to grind a lot, but I mean, fuck it, well, have fun.
mm-hmm. That and I mean, there's like so much shit here. But yeah, I think that's. I mean, I think that's good. Or do you have anything else you want to talk about?
Um, I think I'm good, man. We almost doubled our almost doubled our runtime this episode. I think we got a pretty respectable 50 minutes going.
All right, sounds good. I'll talk to you later, man.
Peace out.
Peace.